So I have taken this in the last class. We discussed about page object model Cucumber 3 project. So this is the project I have taken copy, and in the same folder here I pasted, and I renamed my folder name to POM Cucumber 4. So I have renamed my POM Cucumber 4. Control C. So and I'm going back to here, and I'm opening my pom.xml, open with edit. So here I'm changing to POM Cucumber 4. And I'm saving, I'm closing. So right now I'm going to import page object model Cucumber frame, POM Cucumber 4 project. I'm going to import existing Maven projects in my E drive. POM Cucumber 4. Select this folder and click on finish. Okay, so and I'm changing my build path, configure build path. It has to be 1.8, so I'm selecting 1.8. Right, now let's go to SRC test resources under features files. So these are the feature files are available now. And under SRC test Java, we are able to see pages and we are able to see Selenium glue code. This is the things. So what I am doing now is I am deleting completely pages folder. And I'm also deleting Selenium glue code. So the entire package I'm deleting. Okay, I'm keeping runner class file because I'm not doing any changes in the test runner 3.java class file. So I'm keeping only runner class, and I'm only keeping common util test browser open Chrome browser. This is the one only I'm keeping. So in page object model, I have to create a package name as pages. So right click SRC test Java, new, click on package. I'm creating a package name as pages. So I have created pages folder, and I want to write step definition.java class file. So I'm going to create a Java class file name. I'm going to create a package name as Selenium glue code. Okay, done. Right. So under Selenium glue code, I have to create step definitions.java class file. So how to create? I am navigating new and I'm clicking on class. So I'm creating step definitions.java class file. Click on finish. And I'm saving. Right now, we are able to see skills5 features.file. This is the skills.feature file. And so now let's implement. Now let's implement steps for skills5.feature file. Okay. So this is my feature file, and I want to develop steps for skills5.feature file. So the next step is in my JUnit platform properties file. Here I have to write skills5.feature file. Okay, so I'm going to generate steps. Okay, skills5.feature file. So what I need to do now? Tell me, guys, what I have to do? Anybody, online people or anybody? If I want to generate step definitions dot methods, if I want to generate, what is my next step? I have to run my testrunner3.java class file. So this is the Java class file I have to execute. So right click, run as JUnit test. Okay, so I'm clicking on JUnit test. the system has suggested me all these keywords. So for every step of the keyword, for every step, corresponding methods was generated here. So I'm clicking on here, show stack trace in console view. I'm clicking here and I'm copying all these methods. I'm going to remove from the group. Copy. And I'm coming back to here and I'm pasting here. And I'm saving here. So I am keeping the mouse over import given. I'm importing when, and I'm importing then. So all the keywords I have imported. So let me delete auto generated code inside the methods, whatever it has been generated. I'm deleting all these things. Okay, now let's analyze the feature file. So here, user navigate to login page. Here it contains column headers. So definitely for this step, data table object, it has to generate. Let's check data table object has been created or not. See, user navigate to login page. Data table object only it has been created. And create skills record. For this step also, it has to generate data table object because that step contains skill column headers. Okay, now let's go and check this one also. Control F, Control V. So here also it's got data table object has been created. Okay, so now I want to for every keyword corresponding methods I have to implement. So user launch Chrome browser. Okay, so here the first step is I have to declare my WebDriver, public WebDriver. I'm declaring my WebDriver and I'm saving, and I have to import WebDriver. So my WebDriver got imported, supporting library, and I'm saving. And after that, to launch my browser, I can write system.set property WebDriver. All these methods, all these lines of code already it has been written under test browser class. So what I'm doing, I'm getting driver is equal to test browser dot open Chrome browser. Okay, I'm saving, and here it is asking add throws declaration. Just I'm clicking throws exception. So along with the method, so my first step was implemented. User launch Chrome browser. This is the step it will launch, and user opens URL. Now I have to develop script for this one. Okay, so now let's go back to here. This one, right? So user opens URL. So driver dot get test URL I have to write. Okay, but as I said, in page object model, we are not writing set of driver commands. Okay, driver dot get test URL, driver dot find element by ID. These things we are not writing at all. So the set of driver commands I need to implement corresponding. So user opens URL. This functionality is related to login page. So let me create a login page here. Okay, so I'm going back to here, new Java class file, login page. I'm clicking on finish. Is got created, and I have to declare my WebDriver, public WebDriver. Sorry. I'm declaring my WebDriver. And after that, we are writing the first method name as public void login page of login page of. And here inside the method, we are writing a method name as WebDriver driver. This comma driver is equal to. This is the driver. This method we are writing to pass the driver to login page. So we are passing the driver to login page so that this driver. So this driver means this is the driver. It is getting control access in the current class, and the driver can able to execute set of driver commands. So here I need to write my method names as public void. First open orange HRM. So this is the method name I'm writing. Driver dot get. So here I am writing string test URL. Driver dot get. So this is the test URL. Right, I'm saving here. So my set of driver commands are ready here. Okay. So let me go to previous program to highlight web element border. That method also I have to copy. So I'm copying that highlighting of web element border also. So Control C. Coming back to my login page. Here I'm also pasting highlight of web element border. Okay, all right. So I'm saving my program. And now I'm coming back to my step definition.java class file. So here I want to call user opens URL. So this is my test URL. I'm renaming string test URL. So in my page object model Cucumber 4 under pages, I'm having login page. So to get, I have to create object here. Okay. So login page. L1 is equal to new login page of. Why I'm creating object? Because I want to call the methods from login page. So let me keep the mouse over and I have to import this one. So import pages dot login page. So I'm simply keeping star. I can able to access all the Java class file from that package. So I have created a login object. So here first I want to pass the driver L1 dot. I have to pass the driver L1 dot login page of driver. Here I have written L1 dot login page of driver, and I'm passing the driver object to login page. Okay, and after that I'm writing L1 dot get of. This is the test URL. Sorry, L1 dot. What is the method I want to call? The method I have already developed. Open orange HRM. Login page is done. So this one. L1 dot open orange HRM, and this is the test URL. This is the value. So we are retrieving from this one. User opens URL. This is the URL value. This is the complete URL value. It is coming back to here, and that value it is coming here. And we are for this method, same value we are passing. So here the driver dot get test URL is invoked. Okay, right. So we have implemented second step, and next step is user navigates to login page. This is the step I want to implement. Control C, and I'm coming back to here. User navigates to login page 1. So here it contains data table object. So means the data table object contains all this information. Okay. So now I have, so this is also related to login page only. I have to write one more method name as string test URL username and password. So public void login. Okay. So I'm coming back to here. So this is the data table object, right? So I'm taking same data table object. Control C. So I'm creating the data table object here. Okay. So here login credentials. My method name is login credentials. And I have to use my set of driver commands. So already we have written in POM Cucumber 3. Let's go back to login page. The set of driver commands. These are the one. So I'm taking Control X C. So login XPath. So this is login button XPath. So in login page. So I'm declaring my web element XPaths and the set of driver commands. Okay, let me copy all these. Control C. So here it is. Just keep the mouse over, add throws declaration. So if the now the data table object contains parameter names and corresponding input values. So data dot. So this is my data table object. To retrieve the information, this is the syntax we are writing. Column headers and data log. I have created a login object, login list object. So login dot get off 0 dot get off parameter name, login dot get off 0 dot get off parameter name, and username 1 and password 1 I'm providing here, and thread dot slip. So it will click on login button. So here I have written my data table object like this. So now let's go back to my step definition dot Java class file. Now I have to pass the driver object. Anyway, I'm passing. And next method is here I want to call login credentials method. Add throws declaration. So the data table object, whatever it contains complete data. So this method is executing with this data table object. So here I'm pressing control button, I'm navigating to here, and all this data table object contains, so we are retrieving all the information to login object and we are retrieving and it's being executing like that. So login credentials method is executed. Now let's come back to the next one. Create skills record. So login part. So now in pages we have completed. So we have completed login page. Open Orange HRM and login credentials. These steps are completed. Now we are navigating to skill space. So that means I have to create skill space. Okay. So what I am doing is I'm copying this one, copy, and I'm pasting here. Skill space. So let's go back to here. So I'm changing the required changes. So I have to pass the driver and this page object repository. It's not required for me here because this is not related to login page. And this method is also not required for me. And here I have to, because this is the skills file, create skills record. This is a data table object, and in the skills page also I need to write add skills method I am writing, and it contains data table object. And let's see what are the input values, skill name and skill description. So skill name. So here I have to write for loop because here this step contains multiple set of input data. So that means I have to write for loop. Okay, I'm deleting these steps and here creating skills data. Okay, right. Now let's go back to the previous one. If it is data table object iteration, let me copy that line of code. So this is the one we have written, and to iterate a data table object, the complete syntax part I'm taking Control C, and I'm coming back to my skill space here. Okay. So now let's see here. So this for loop will be iterated skills dot size of how many number of rows does it contains. Those many times that particular step will be iterated. So skills dot get off 0 dot first what is the feature, what is the name, skill name. So this is the skill name, and skill description, this is the one. And I'm retrieving all my input data. I'm iterating to iterate a data table object. The entire for loop I have copied and pasted, and by following that one I'm navigating to admin qualification skills and add, and I'm using these local variables skill name and skill description. So this set of driver commands which can be iterated, how many number of rows it is there, it will be iterated. So my method is ready in my skill space now. Okay, so let's close this skill space. Okay, let's come back to the step definition.java file. Now create skills record. I want to call skill space, so I have to create object for skill space. This one is equal to new skill space. Yes, my page object created, and here I have to write s1 dot. First I have to pass the driver object, skill space WebDriver object I'm passing, and after that s1 dot add skills of data table object I'm passing. Okay, keep the mouse over, add throws declaration, throws exception got added, and I'm saving. So the data table object create skills record 3. So this is the one. So the entire information it was there into my data table object here, and the same data table object I'm passing in as input to this method. So add skills method is executing those many times. Right. Now the final step, I want to implement logout. I want to implement logout. So logout operation generally we can do from home page. Okay. So I'm closing the skills page and login page. So I have to create a home page object. So I'm copying this one, copy, and I'm pasting. Home page, and I have to pass the driver to home page object. So I'm writing this method home page of WebDriver, and here there is no data table object and it's not required to me at all, this one. And I want to, so if you see this feature file, so this is a simple click on logout button, so no input values required. You can write simple method public void logout, and I'm writing this. So here I need to write set of driver commands. I need to click on welcome.click and I have to click on logout. So set of driver commands I have to write for logout. So I'm going back to the previous program home page. The set of driver commands I'm taking from there. Right. I'm saving. And also highlight of web element border, I need to take copy. It's there or not? It's already there. So just add throws declaration, throws exception got added. So my logout method is ready. So in my home page, my logout method is ready. So now for this step, I have to write code in my step definition.java file. So click on logout. So I have created a page class file home page. Okay. I have created a home page object. So now what I am doing, I'm going to create an object home page. Home page h1 is equal to new home page. And now I have to pass the driver object to home page object h1 dot. Which method? Home page web driver method, this one. And h1 dot. I had already implemented logout method. So this one. So I'm invoking logout method. Add throws declaration process. So click on logout button. Okay. So that step got implemented. And the next step is close browser. Close browser, I want to close it. So in the home page itself, I'm writing a method name as public void close browser. So what it is showing? Oh, and I have to write driver dot close. So my browser window will be closed. Now, in my step definition.java file, I have to invoke method from home page. And after that, h1 dot close browser method I am calling. Saving. So all my methods are implemented now. Corresponding methods are invoking corresponding page class file now. Okay, this contains add skills method and login page contains open orange HRM and login credentials, all these things. And home page contains logout and a close browser. So if you see the from step definition.java, we are calling the required methods. Okay, as per the step, I am calling the required methods. So all my steps are ready. Now I can go and run my test runner.java class. Test runner 3, this is the one. Okay, in my JUnit platform properties file, skills5.feature file is there. So I'm going to execute skills5.feature file. So let's run as JUnit test. What happened? Number 4, skills5.feature file and step definition.java file. We have implemented each and everything. Still, it is looking for what? Right. So in JUnit platform properties, what is my package name? Selenium glue code. Here I mentioned glue code 1. I have to change it. So wherever my step definition.java file has been implemented, that's corresponding package name I have to mention. So I am giving and I am saving. So let's run test runner 3.java class file. What? Still it is giving something wrong. Okay. Okay, F2. I'm taking this copy and I'm pasting here. JUnit platform properties file. Okay, now everything is ready. Test runner 3.java class file. Run as JUnit test. Right. So first it has to invoke OpenOrange HRM. What? Login is not working. No such element exception. So no such element exception it is got. So now let's go back to step definition.java file, and after login method, login page, here login credentials. So here I have to write implicit wait. So I have to write one implicit wait syntax. 1 second. So in every method you can use this line of code. Okay, let me show you that implicit wait. Login page. So this is the line of code is important. So I'm going back to my POM Cucumber 4. So here login page. So the first line of code you can write implicit wait in every method, and login page is done, and skills page also I'm doing. Add skills here also I'm doing, and home page. So here also I'm keeping. So by default, you can write in every method implicitly. Okay, now, so I have written implicitly wait in every method. Okay, now I am going and running test runner 3.java cluster. This is so username, it has to enter admin. What? Something went wrong. Java.lang. Keys to send should not null char sequence at login page 38. One second. So first skills dot feature file. User navigate to login page 1. This is the one. It has to execute step definition.java class file. Control F. So what I will do is I will change the step to login page 2 here. And in my skills page also I'm changing to here 2. Okay. So username and password. Okay, let's run again. Username itself, it is not entering the value. Login page at line number 38. Why this is coming? This is referring from which method? Login page, line number 38. Okay, coming back to 1 second. So here login page. I will do one thing. Not casing. So I'm changing it to login page 1. Okay. I'm changing to login page 3. So here everything I'm changing into F2 home page 3. Next, finish, and skill space F2, and I'm changing to 2P and finish. So in my step definition.java class file also, it has to update accordingly. So it's updated. Okay, I'm saving. Okay. Now let's run the test_runner.java class file. Okay. And let me change here my Selenium glue code. I'm changing it to Selenium glue code also 5. Okay. And in my JUnit platform properties file, I have to mention Selenium glue code 5. So the same package name. Why it is happening, I will tell you. So test_runner3.java class. Okay. Same thing. Remote web driver. 1 second. Keys should not send. Okay. Step definitions.java file. Login page 2. Skills 5.feature file 8. Step definition.java file at 43. And after that, login page 3.java 38. Here it is giving the error. Username and password. Correct only. Okay. 1 second. One second. Okay. Now let's run this. So same thing I have to do in skills page also. 1 second.